It's Entertainment Schmig.
And it's brought to you by Plaza Motors, the luxury car center of the universe. You know the huge stories. Taylor Swift, #1 album. Taylor Swift, #1 song with Blank Space. Chris Rock was in St. Louis yesterday. Wait, what? Chris Rock in St. Louis. His movie, Top 5, coming out. So for the past couple of days, he's visiting his top 5 cities to promote the film. St. Louis, one of them.
Awesome.
We found out about it after the fact, but Chris, posing in front of the arch, he stood next to one of the St. Louis birthday cakes. And then he did like a Q&A down at the MX Movies downtown. Awesome movie theater, by the way. We all went there a couple weeks ago. If you haven't been, I mean, they've done a good job like redoing that. But yeah, did a little Q&A and then showed the film.
I'm a little upset. I mean, you know, Chris Rock, when he was cutting his teeth, when he wasn't a big movie star, he was just doing the comedy circuit and everything, he came in on the show.
Yeah.
And he was funny, and he was a good guy, but we're still here, Chris.
I know. I think he was like in and out. Yesterday, he went to Dallas, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, and Toronto.
Oh, yeah, well, he's not going to stop by the show. Let me go by that morning show that gave me my booze. Oh, yeah, that would be out in L.A.
Yeah. So we're going to have pictures online at y98.com of Chris and his whirlwind tour of St. Louis. Now on to this Sony debacle. It just keeps getting worse by the day. All of the emails that have been leaked since they were hacked by the North Koreans because of that Seth Rogen, James Franco film The Interview. The latest email to come out, and it revolves around 2 different films that were in production at the time. Sony was working on this Steve Jobs movie, not the one starring Ashton Kutcher. It was a different one based on the book that everyone was reading a couple years ago, and David Fincher was anttached to the film to direct it.
Because Aaron Sorkin wrote the screenplay for it.
Based on the book that was out. Angelina Jolie at the same time had a Cleopatra project that she was working on, and she wanted David Fincher attached to that project. So there's this one Sony executive, her name is Amy Pascal, and she's trying to tell this guy who's working on the Jobs project, Scott Rudin, Angelina, she kind of wants David Fincher to work on this. And at first it starts out sort of pleasant with Scott saying, well, I really, we're working on this project. Let's not have her do that. And then all of a sudden he said, I am not destroying my career over a minimally talented, spoiled brat. He also talked about her insanity and her rampaging, spoiled ego. He said she's a camp event and a celebrity, and that's all. And the last thing anybody needs is to make a giant bomb with her that any fool could see coming.
All right, now, have you ever heard this about her before? About her being spoiled and throwing tantrums?
No, not really. She seems down to earth.
Yeah.
I think he was angry because this Cleopatra project was delayed for about a year and a half. He said because she went to work on this movie that she decided she wants to direct, which I believe is her film Unbroken, which comes out shortly. So, yeah, she was going to direct this movie, so she put the Cleopatra project on hold, and
now the movie's not even being made by Sony.
No, the Jobs
one.
movie. Yeah, and Cleopatra.
Haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, so much ado about nothing.
But
Oops.
this guy.
Right. Called her a spoiled brat.
Now you look like a big ass.
Nice.
Kevin Hart also looking not so great. Sony wanted him. This is very interesting.
Wait, tell everybody how tall Kevin Hart is. I found out yesterday.
5 feet tall.
Kevin Hart, the comedian.
Yeah.
I can't even. I'm going to try to find the article that Nick was like quizzing me on heights of different celebrities.
So we thought Tom Cruise at 5'5", 5'6"?
He says 5'6".
Yeah.
5'6"?
5'7".
I mean, he's like a giant.
5 feet tall. Is that? I mean,
no kidding.
He doesn't look like it in movies.
Standing on boxes, I'm sure, like Tom Cruise.
I think my mom's 5 feet tall.
Is she?
I think.
Karen Landerman and Kevin Hart, next new hot celebrity couple. Sony wanted him to tweet about one of his movies that was about to open. This is interesting when it comes to celebrities and their tweets. He wanted to be paid extra for sending out a tweet. One of the executives said, I'm not saying he's a whore, but he's a whore. And also, after NBC canceled Community, developed by Sony, Joel McHale, one of the stars,
I love this.
Sony about a discount on an $8,000 Sony TV.
Oh, I love it.
Doesn't that sound
That's
great?
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah, we're letting the guy go, or
As a parting gift, could I have a discount on one of your TVs? Sure. You've got nothing else to lose.
Uh-huh.
David Letterman's last night for The Late Show, May 20th. The date has been set after 32 years.
Only 32, huh?
Right. I know. There are other CBS employees who have been around longer.
What can I tell you?
And actually, that's not just
CBS.
that wasn't just
Right.
CBS. That's late night on NBC combined with The Late Show, 32 years. So
Did you
he's
hear
got
that,
nothing.
CBS? Hope you're watching this bid.
And last night on The Tonight Show, you can watch this in its entirety online at y98.com. But Steve Carell on the show promoting his new movie, Foxcatcher, but he didn't keep it all serious like the film. He joined Jimmy Fallon and the Ragtime Gals for a little barbershop quartet.
Let's get down tonight.
Much longer, it's getting stronger and stronger. When I get this feeling, I want sexual healing. Sexual healing is something that's good for me.
They must keep their clothes on for that. That's Entertainment Schmig. More at 8:40 and online at y98.com.